All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and today we are reviewing my first ever clip-on headphones, earbuds, the Soundcore c30i. The selling point of these headphones is the situational awareness. Some kind of like when you're listening to a speaker, you are hearing the sound, but that's not canceling out the environment and the other sounds around you. Like in the case of especially in-ear earbuds, but also maybe bigger headphones. So that's the selling point. How do they perform? Let's find out. Now, although I cannot have you listen to an audio sample, of course, I can tell you what I think of them. Now, starting from the design, you have the front here, and on the back you have a little, it's like a magnet that detects your movements, right? So that you can have some quick actions. Speaking of quick actions, what happens is I try to put it on and maybe after a bit I want to move it. Every single time I try, I want to move it because maybe it's not comfortable or maybe I feel like it's not tight enough. Every time I do it, I accidentally press the button, and it's really annoying because I'm listening to a podcast or maybe I'm watching a YouTube video and I do that and it stops, or even worse, it just selects another video, which is really annoying. Now, the good thing is there is the Soundcore app with which you can disable, if you want, you can disable the quick actions or you can configure them in a better way that you prefer. Now, since we were talking about putting it on, that's I guess the main part, the main difference of having these headphones compared to the ones that you're used to, that we are all used to. So starting from the design, it looks like there is a little speaker in here. So it actually looks like a small speaker placed on your ear that will play sound, which is quite interesting in terms of the design decision. Now, basically, what you want to do is you take the side of the back and you orient it to the back, of course. Then you want to find the smallest or thinnest part of your ear through which the headphone can kind of click in, you know? Now, what you do is you go down and you want to lower it to the part where it's closest to your ear, basically to your hearing part of your ear. And what happens is I tend to bring it close to the bottom here. Now, obviously, you can also keep it up here if your ear allows you to, because it's thick enough to keep it in place. You can also listen to it. It will just feel like, it will just sound like the voice or the sound is coming from a bit further away. Now, speaking of this clip-on, this whole thing about the design and is it really tight enough for you to like go jogging or something like that? I can tell you that I do not feel so sure or secure enough to go jog with these, because it does feel loose. It doesn't feel like I have been able to find a place to actually like have a decent grip, you know? So that's a bit annoying. So what I end up doing is I end up putting it as close to the bottom of my ear as I can, because then the sound will feel more closer to me. But it still feels loose. See, it came out really, really easily. Now they try to solve this problem by giving you some little clips that basically you are going to put on the back part of the headphone like this. You would put it like this, and then you will clip it in. So that's supposed to give you a little more thickness. And I gotta say, it somewhat does it. You know, it does give you a little more stability. Yeah, now it feels a bit more anchored to my ear, although it's still not. I wouldn't say it feels secure or safe to go jogging with. But it does feel a bit better, right? I have been testing it, listening to a podcast while at home. May I even tried to watch a movie just to understand the audio quality, also listen to music. Moving on to the audio quality. Now, I have watched YouTube video, very comfy, very useful if you're doing other things, but you still want to have some situational awareness. You want to listen to what's going on around you, especially if you're listening to music, for example, in public places while you're walking on the street. You want to have some situational awareness that the in-ear headphones or earbuds don't give you. Then yes, this does provide that kind of situational awareness. However, obviously the louder the volume, the less you will hear from outside, of course, less situational awareness anyways. But the main thing is obviously the sound quality will be drastically different, because the biggest pro of an in-ear earbud is this isolation of the ear that allows it to produce even the lowest frequencies and nice bass and have that body that you can really feel and listen into your ear, you know. So that's the good thing about it. But that will of course be lacking on these headphones, because they just don't have that isolation and that nice little chamber that creates in your ear with the in-ear ones. So you will lose that, of course. Now, I can't say it's shining when playing music, you know, in terms of spectrum, in terms of mids, in terms of highs. There's nothing so special that caught my attention. However, that's probably because these headphones they have not been created with the main purpose of listening to music. Of course, they are probably they're best suited for someone that maybe talks on the phone a lot during the day. Maybe you're a real estate agent, maybe you do some other kind of brokerage, some kind of job that you are doing a lot of phone calls, you're spending a lot of time on your phone, and maybe you're driving, you're around, you're walking on the street, whatever it is, and you want to have that situational awareness. In that case, it's a definite win. It's a definitely good product for you. The cost is not so crazy. But if you want music, of course, if your priority is listening to music, I would not recommend it. If you want to perhaps listen to some podcasts while you're at home, maybe you're doing some chores or whatever you're doing, yes, they are also useful. And I also tested them on a TV show, which sounds pretty decent, sounds pretty alright, you know. If you are, for example, in a house where other people maybe are sleeping at some time or something like that, you don't want to have a speaker, you don't want to have a loud sound coming out of the you know, while watching the TV show, then it's also a good option. And yeah, there's an IPX4 certification, so it's water resistant. You can walk in the rain and still be on the phone. It should be no problem, to be honest. It seems to be pretty well isolated from what I see. But yeah, aside from that, this is a new style of headphones, of earbuds that who knows, maybe they will improve, maybe they will create new different things, new different uh, ways to make them better and more useful. But yeah, overall, if you're on the phone all day, if you're on doing calls for work, if you want to listen to some podcasts while running the chores, then it's a good purchase. Aside from that, if you want to listen to music, I recommend you get on serious earbuds or good headphones, and there are plenty out there. So that's it for this review, and thank you very much for watching.